Hey everyone, this is Zero Budget Geek.
And I'm Jack Rosetree.
And today we're going to play an awesome game designed by Jack with a little bit of help from me called ABXY. We're going to jump into it right now. ABXY is a speedy two-player simultaneous action selection game inspired by our favorite monster training RPGs. For a full rules explanation, there will be a link down in the description box to another video. So we've randomly distributed our team. This is my team here, and here is my first creature that's going to battle.
This is my team right here, and here's my champion. Each round, players pick two actions, a first and a second. I'm picking mine right now.
Okay, so I need to pick two actions as well. Now Jack already went and he's already got his plan, so I need to figure something else out. Well, my character here, which is Zlaka, has an ability called Feint. Zlaka damages her foe when she succeeds with taunt. So I actually think I'm going to perform a taunt as my first action. Now I'm speaking this out loud, but normally my opponent wouldn't know this. And then as my second action, I'm going to do this. So he's not hearing what I'm saying here. Now we're going to resolve these actions. Okay, let's flip over our actions and resolve them.
Okay, I attacked and he taunted. Now taunt only affects X or B if I had played them, which I did not. So instead I just deal damage. Zlaka takes damage and flips right over.
Damn it. Alright, so let's do second actions now.
Alright, I'm trying to switch, which means I'm trying to trade characters over here. Meanwhile, Zlaka is using her Heart Strike, which replaces the default action of the A. Now, Heart Strike only affects the Y button. I didn't play Y, so I'm going to switch instead. So let's bring out Fade.
All right, the round's over, so now we take our button cards or action cards back, and we're gonna select again. That really didn't go well for me.
Alright, we simultaneously select some new cards, but I'm going to pick a little quicker than Zero, and I'm ready to go.
Alright, I still need to think over here and figure out what I'm going to do. But my guy Zlaka there is hurt, and I have to decide whether I want to keep her in and keep fighting or switch her out. So I think I'm going to be doing this button here, and then as my second action, I'm going to do that. So just as explanation, my first button is a switch, so I'm going to try to get her out of there, and my second button will be resolved with the new character that comes in. Alright, let's go ahead and resolve first actions.
Alright, so he's trying to switch, but I totally saw it coming from a mile away, and I played Taunt, which allows me to override that switch. So his switch still happens, but I get to choose who he brings in.
Well, that sucks. For me, anyway.
And I think the person I'm going to bring in is Mira.
Alright, so we're gonna switch those out.
Switch places.
Alright, Jack's really getting in my head here, and he's really like predicting my moves. So let's see if I can outsmart him with this second action here.
And he did not. So normally defend is negate and counter damage, but with Fade, the B action is just negate A. So I prevent his attack from happening at all, but I don't damage him back as I normally would with the B action.
Alright, well the round's over. We take back our card and start a new round, picking two new buttons. Alright, once again, Speedy Jack over there has picked both his buttons, so I need to really think here and try to smart. Now, one thing about Mira is that she has an ability here that says foes cannot heal, which is not that important right now, but her Y ability damages foes, so she could actually do damage, twice in a turn, and I think I'm actually gonna go for that. So I'm gonna play this button as my first action and this button as my second action. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, so resolving first actions.
So he attacks me, but I negate his attack. Nothing happens, and then we resolve our second action. I attack him. He attacks me at the same time. Now, there is an order to this, but in this case it doesn't matter, so we simply both take 1 damage.
Alright, well that worked out at least. At least I took some damage on you. Alright, we've taken our cards back to start a new round. Jack has made his selection. I'm making my selection. I'm going to go ahead and do this and do this. And I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't want him to know. Alright, here we go with the first actions. Come on.
Alright, so I'm trying to switch. He's trying to damage me with his special attack. Now this is a situation where we actually look at the weight of the creatures to see who goes first. Fade weighs 11.7 kilograms, while Mira weighs 560 kilograms. It's quite a weight difference. So I'm going to go first, and I'm going to switch somebody in. But whoever I switch in is immediately going to get damaged, so I need to pay attention to what I'm doing here. And I think I'm going to bring out Grumble, because he's super defensive, and he can take it. So he switches out, and then he takes damage and flips over.
Alright, so let's go ahead and resolve our second
And now we flip over our second buttons. We both attempt to defend and nothing happens.
Alright, standoff. Alright, well, I'm getting my butt whipped, and Jack, again, has picked his 2 actions, so I really need to think this through. Now, we have an interesting situation here because Mira is a very offense-oriented character because she has an extra attack with her bite ability. Grumble is very defensive. Not only does he have his B button to defend with, but he can also use his X button as a defense rather than a switch. So I imagine that Jack is probably expecting an attack. So he's going to defend at some point with one of those, maybe not both of them, but he's probably going to try to sneak in an attack. So I think I'm going to start off with a defend here, and then I'm going to try to switch out. Now the reason I want to switch out, even though I may want to have Mira sneak an attack, is because if I can get the switch off, I can switch in Kremlin, and Kremlin has a special ability that says Kremlin damages her foe when switching in, and so hopefully I'll be able to get her in, and then Grumble won't be able to defend against that damage. Alright, let's go ahead and resolve our actions here.
Alright, we both do defend, so nothing happens, and now we can just move on to our second actions. Now I'm attacking and he's switching. Mira is lighter than Grumble, so Mira's going to switch out first.
Okay, well that's great. That's exactly what I was planning on. I'm going to switch out Mira for Kremlin.
So Kremlin's move is, or Kremlin's special ability is that when she switches in, she does damage to whoever is in. So Grumble is defeated because he was already damaged, so he's out. And now I need to pick somebody new to switch in, and I'm going to move in Nixian. I'm going to do that twofold. One is because Bosco is pretty useful later, but I don't want to use him yet because his heal ability is only useful when I have damaged creatures. And second, Nixian has this special ability called Immolate, which has the potential to automatically defeat an ice foe. Now, Kremlin is an ice predator, so I really want to play that to my advantage.
Alright, so that's dangerous for me.
That is. Now, my fight never went off because Grumble got defeated, but it's not going to go off now because that action has never been delivered to a creature, and we're going to move on to the next round now.
Now, it's important to note that when you're moving in a creature, because one was defeated, is not considered as a switch in.
Correct.
So abilities that trigger off of a switch don't activate.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so once again, Jack has selected his actions. I need to pick here. Now, this is a dangerous situation for me because, you know, Kremlin can be defeated because Kremlin is an ice type. He can be defeated by Nixian's special ability over there. So I think I'm going to stick it out, and I'm actually going to do a defend. Now, Kremlin's defend is actually different than the card. It's called Prowl, and it locks out A, which means that it doesn't prevent the action from happening, but it'll prevent them from using that card as long as that character is still the active combatant. So I think I'm probably gonna risk losing Kremlin right here, but then I might lock out a card. Now, if I lose Kremlin, I'm gonna go ahead and use a taunt as my second ability. You know, either it'll fire off and do something, you know, lock out a card, or if Kremlin gets defeated, I can bring in Mira and use her Y ability to try to get some damage on Nixian. Alright, here we go. First actions being resolved.
Alright, so there was basically no reason for me not to use my A in this case. So I use my Immolate ability, which is damage foe or defeat water, ice, or plant foe. Now, since Kremlin is an ice foe, Kremlin is defeated.
Alright, well that's
gone.
Quick. Alright, so then I gotta switch somebody in, and then the new person is gonna resolve the second action. So I am gonna bring in Mira, even though she's damaged, because I know I played a Y, and that's a damaged foe. Hopefully it gets through.
Alright, so again, I'm trying to switch and he's trying to attack me. We have to look at our speeds. Nixian actually weighs less, so I can get Nixian out of there before she gets attacked. So I'm gonna put Nixian over here, and I'm gonna bring out Sweep. And then the taunt, the Y action, Bite goes off, and Sweep's going to become damaged.
Okay, well I got something out of that. All right, let's take our buttons back and start a new round. All right, once again, Jack's picked his actions. Now, I'm in a little bit of a pickle here because Sweep is pretty much, I think, the lightest character in the game. She weighs 0.1 kilograms, so anything she does is probably going to happen before Mira. But, so even if I try to switch out, I might die along the way. So, I'm just going to get super offensive here, and I'm going to go ahead and play my Y button, which is a bite, which is damage full, and I'm also gonna play my fight button as my second action. So if Mira dies, at least whoever comes in maybe will get an attack in. All right, let's go ahead and resolve these cards.
So I defend versus the damage that Mira is trying to inflict. So Mira is actually going to take a damage and be removed from the game.
Right, because it says negate and counter damage, so it's not specific to the letter.
Right.
Like it's so that blocked my taunt. So now I need to bring someone in. Now this is not considered a switch. So I think we're gonna bring in Citadel over here, and now we can resolve our second buttons.
All right, so we're both attacking. Again, Sweep's the lightest in the game, so Sweep's going to go first and damage Citadel. And then Citadel has this cheap shot special ability, which allows him or her to deal damage to one of the sideline characters instead of the main character.
Yeah.
So who would you like to damage?
So I think this is an interesting decision here, because I could just do the damage on Fade over here because Fade is already damaged and kill him outright. But I may want to target Bosco because Bosco has a special ability here, heal any ally. And I don't really want Jack to get to use that very often, so maybe it might be a good idea to start getting some damage on him. But I think I want to take the guaranteed defeat, so I'm going to do the damage on Fade over there, and he's defeated. Now we can take our cards back and start a new round. Alright, so what am I going to be doing this turn? Now, Sweep is annoying because Sweep weighs so light. She's so light that it's good chance that whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen first with her. So I think I'm gonna try to be a little defensive here. He might try to sneak in an attack, knowing that he's faster. But defend versus an attack doesn't rely on speed. So I'm gonna try to go for a defend first. And he might be anticipating that I'm going to use my cheap shot because it is a very powerful ability. Instead, I'm just going to try to do something not very obvious and try to switch out. Alright, so let's resolve the first actions.
Alright. So I use my taunt, which for Sweep is the special action. Challenge, I negate and lock out X or B. So his B is now locked out and he can't use it until he either switches Citadel out or Citadel dies.
Alright, well that wasn't good for me, but let's see if I do better with the second action.
Alright, so we're both switching. Now this is one of those cases where having the higher weight character is actually an advantage because I have to switch first and then Zero gets to switch knowing exactly who he has to fight. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Bosco. Even though I've only got one sideline character that I can heal, I think now is the time to bring Bosco out.
Okay, so then now my switch happens, and this is a interesting decision. This is going to be the end of the round, so I think I'm going to take a risk and bring in Zlaka, because Zlaka has the ability A, negate Y and then defeat foe. So if I can predict things right, I might be able to defeat Bosco in one hit. But Jack knows that, so he's going to try to play around that. So let's see what happens. And because Citadel switched out, I actually get my locked out B back because that was only specific to Citadel. Alright, I'm trying to be sneaky here, but it's probably not going to work out. I think Jack is fully in my head in this game. Alright, so I think he's probably expecting me to do that A and he wants to play around it. I think I'm just going to not even do that at all. I think I'm going to try to defend first because Bosco is lighter. He might try to sneak in a hit and kill Zlaka before that. So the B will, take care of the speed issue. And then I'm going to go ahead and do, what was the other action? I think I'm actually going to do a taunt with the next one. Alright, so First actions. What happens?
All right, I'm attempting to switch. You're defending. Now, the defend doesn't do anything in this case, so I just get to perform my X, which in this case, instead of switch, is bless, which allows me to heal sweep. And now sweep is back at undamaged status.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what happens with the second.
All right, I'm attempting to attack, and now he's attempting to taunt. The taunt doesn't happen because I'm not playing X or B, so Zlaka is removed from the game.
All right, yeah. All right, let's take our. Oh, I have to pick somebody.
You have to pick somebody to bring in.
All right, I'm gonna actually bring in Mr. Damaged Citadel, and let's go. All right. Well, I feel like I'm doing very poorly here, but I'm having a lot of fun. Okay. I think actually what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to perform a switch because my cheap shot's not gonna hit Bosco. It's just gonna hit somebody over there who's probably gonna get healed anyway. So I'm gonna actually just do a switch and a. You know what? I thought I was gonna do an attack, but I think I'm actually going to defend with my second action. All right, let's do it. Let's resolve these.
All right. So I attempt to defend, not expecting the switch, and now Citadel may switch.
Okay, so I switch into one of my favorite characters, which is Thys, the Nightmarish Stalker.
Now Thys has an ability that Zero has neglected this entire game. Thys cannot be damaged the same round she switches in, and this is her Stalker ability. So every time that she enters the game for a round from the sideline, I can't damage her.
All right, so let's resolve this second action, see if you tried to damage.
I did not, and so I do a straight taunt against Thys's defend and lock out the B button.
All right, so Thys's B button is locked out, which is very unfortunate for me. All right, let's pick new actions on a new round. All right, well, this is not looking good for me because I don't have access to my B right now, and my Y button is not going to be very useful because it's ambush. A foe that switches in during this action is defeated. Well, Bosco actually cannot switch because his switch button is just a heal. So that's actually another button that's not really useful. So Jack knows this. He knows that I'm pretty much limited down to my fight and switch. But he doesn't know what order I'm going to do it. So maybe what I might do is I think I'm going to actually go for the switch first. And then, no, that's bad. I think I'm just going to attack first. He's probably expecting that. I probably talked myself out of a better play. But I'm going to attack first and then a switch. Let's see how this turns out for me. All right, let's see. Did he outsmart me? Yes, he did.
All right, so I defend. This is going to take a damage.
I had it right the other way.
You did. And then our next action flips over. I attack. Now the switch is attempting to happen right now, but Bosco weighs less than Thys. Bosco's 29.5 kilograms, the weight of the average golden retriever, while Thys is 76 kilograms, not the weight of the average spider. So Thys is defeated and gone.
All right.
This is going to bring Citadel in as the last combatant.
And Citadel is pretty much the worst character to have as your last combatant. All right, well, this is bad. Well, at least I do get my B back because Citadel switched in. Now, I'm at a severe disadvantage here because Citadel can only damage, his A, his normal fight move, only hits the sideline. So the only way I'm going to be able to hit the opponent across from me is if I successfully defend against their A, which is going to be really hard. And
I know that, so
yeah,
I don't want to play A.
So he probably doesn't want to play A. So I think I'm actually going to try to take advantage of that. But yeah, there's a lot of I know, but you know, but I know, but you know going on here. So I'm going to try to just see if I can get a cheap shot in there and defend. All right, let's see what happens.
All right, so he's attempting the cheap shot. I was hoping to get off a taunt just in case, but it fails. So he gets to damage either Nixian or sweep.
Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and choose Nixian because I just realized now that Citadel is an ice type, so Nixian is very dangerous to him. Alright, let's see what happens with our second buttons here.
And then we both attempt to defend, so nothing happens, and we're going to take our cards back.
Alright, well, I'm still alive. I thought I was dead there. Alright, again, I'm still in the same situation here. I think actually doing the same move twice in a row is not really a bad idea. Oftentimes your opponents kind of feel like you're going to switch things up for the sake of switching things up. I'm going to do the same thing all over again. I'm going to go ahead and try to cheap shot again and defend. I think Jack's going to get me here, but I'm hoping he doesn't expect me to do the same 2 moves twice in a row. All right, so first actions.
Okay, so I'm in a little bit better shape. Bosco actually does his heal first. So I'm going to heal Nixian, and then Citadel's attack is going to go through and...
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hit Nixian again. So.
All right, so we ended up with a net 0 in that situation, and then we're going to flip over our next cards, and again, the defends go off in the second round with nothing happening. So I'm a little worried that Citadel might actually make it past my, my 3 remaining characters.
Okay, well, I'm hanging on by a thread, and you know what? It's been working for me. Should I do 3 in a row, same moves? Screw it. We're going to go for the cheap shot again, and we're going to go for a defend. But I can't wait. I'm not even going to change camera angles. Let's just go ahead and resolve them now.
All right. So I finally learned from my mistakes. I attack. Citadel gets damaged first because Citadel is an 81 kilogram ice arachnid, while Bosco is only the 29.5. So Citadel is removed from the game.
All right.
And my remaining team survives.
Well, I found that really fun, and you know, that was only what, 10 out of the 20 possible different characters in the game, so you can imagine the different combinations. Now, one thing I want to point out is that every single character in the game is unique. They all have different special abilities, different passive abilities, and different types and all that, so a lot of replayability just with that. Thanks for watching, everyone. Down below, you're going to find a link to a free print and play that you can try out for yourself. And there is a Kickstarter campaign that will be coming soon. And you're going to find that link down below in the description box as well.
Thank you.